our chapter 11, the second part which we've been doing. I hope the two devotees know who are reciting the chapters today. I had the message already here that, just one second. So today we have Pinky Mataji who will recite in English and Chaya Mataji who will recite in Sanskrit. So I'm going to share my screen and we can get started. You can start with the invocation prayers, and it's starting from the text 28 all the way to the end of the chapter. So please go ahead, Chaya Mataji, and begin the recitation by starting with Om Namo Bhagavate prayers. Hare Krishna. Chaya Mataji, would you like to unmute yourself if you're already online? Do we have Chaya Mataji online?
She is online, Prabhuji, but I don't know. She's
Okay.
unmuted as well.
Chaya Mataji, would you kindly unmute yourself and begin the recitation of Sanskrit?
I'm online already. I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
So please start with the Om Namo Bhagavate prayers, and it's the text 28. And then Pinky Mataji, you can also unmute yourself with starting to do the translation in English.
Yes. Hare Krishna. So I begin with before I'll do in advance apologize if I do any mistake or anything in a pronunciation. Do correct me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chapter 11, text 28. Yatha nadinam bahum bhuvegaha samudra deva vimukha dravanti tatha tavami naralokavira vishanti vaktatayam yabhikalanti.
As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths.
Yatha pradiptam jvalanam tathanga vishanti nashaya samudra veda tatheva nashaya vishanti loka samapi vakrani samudra veda.
I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is.
32, sorry. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kalosmi Lokasya Viddha Lokanakam Pritame Prabhuta ऋतेऽपि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे येव स्थिताः प्रतिमुखेषु योद्धाः।
याद जानो तो भवेतो.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain."
तस्मात् त्वमस्ति यशो लभस्व जित्वा शत्रुघ्नस्वं राज्यं समृद्धम् नयेव ते निहताः पूर्वम् एव निमित्तमात्रं भवस्वय साक्षी.
Therefore, get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Sabyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight.
द्रोणं च भीष्मं च जयद्रथं च कर्णा तथान्यपि योद्धवीरान् मया हत्वस्त्वं जहिमा यथेष्टा. Sorry, I have to start again. Sorry. द्रोणं च भीष्मं च जयद्रथं च कर्णं तथान्यपि योद्धवीरान् मया हत्वस्त्वं जहिमा यथेष्टा. युधस्वजेता शिरणे सप्तनाम.
Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle.
35. Sanjay Vacha एतत् कृत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिवेतमानकिरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं तद्गद्गदं वीतभितप्रणम्.
Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, "O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows.
Arjuna Vacha Stane Rishikesh Tavo Prasthityavam Jagat Pashanti Anurasyate Rakshasi Bhitani Diso Dravanti Sarva Namastanti Chasiddhikanda.
Arjuna said, "O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid, and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done."
Tasmat Chitena Namiram Mahatma Garye Brahma Akyadikarte Ananta Deva Shajagan Nivasa Swamaksham Tatparam Yata.
O Great One, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you?
Ganayan mucho.
O
Pero no
limitless
van a leer
one,
todo. No sé cuánto 11. Es que en la Gita me faltan pages del chapter 10, 11. A la falta, no
O
sé cómo.
limitless,
Entonces, दुकान Divya যদি मंदिर चलता यदि हिंदू टेम्पल खुलियो que dinner निकली copy. Pero falta ahí hojas. No sé.
Hare Krishna Mataji, sorry, somebody's unmuted and speaking in the background. Could you please mute yourself? Thank you.
Yo no soy.
start again. O Great One, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer the respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation.
From Adideva Purusha Purana, Samasya Viswasya Param Nidhanam, Vedasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama, Svaya Tatam Vishwamanantabhutam.
You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes. O limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you.
Vayu Agni Varuna Sashanga Prajapati Tvam Prapitamahacha Namo Namaste Sahasra Kitava Punasya Bhayo Api Namo Namaste.
You are air, and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times, and again and yet again.
Namaha Purushat Purusastate Namaha Purushat Atha Purusate Namostute Sarvata Eva Sarva Ananta Vivyomiti Vishwamasvam Sarva Samanotoshi Tatosi Sarva.
Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all-pervading, and thus you are everything.
Sakheti Matva Prasbam Yadustam He Krishna He Yada He Sakheti Ajanata Mahimanam Savatedam Maya Pramadat Pranayena Vapi.
Mataji, please recite the next shloka as well. These shlokas are together.
Okay. Sorry, Prabhuji, just yeah, Vichva says Makruto Asi Viharasya Snamo Bhojaneshu Eko Swastichidam Tat Samaksham Tat Shamaye Tvam Aham Pramevam.
Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend. Not knowing your glories, please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses.
Sita Kilokasya Characharasya Svamasya Pujyasya Guru Gariyan Napastamo Sadhyastika Sutogno Lokreya Prati Prabhava.
You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power?
तस्मात् प्रणमये प्रणिधाय सायं प्रसादये त्वां त्वमिशिष्य पितेव पुत्रस्य तथैव सचु प्रियारसि देव सुतं.
You are the Supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. Thus, I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the imprudence of his son, or a friend tolerates the impertinence of a friend, or a wife tolerates the familiarity of her partner, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done to you.
अदृष्टपूर्वाविषितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च प्रव्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्श देवरूपं प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास.
After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O Abbot of the universe.
किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्ते मिच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुमहं तथैव तमेव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते.
O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form.
श्रीभगवानुवाच मया प्रसन्नेन तवार्जुनेदं रूपं परं दर्शितम् आत्मयोगात् तेजोमयं विश्वमनन्तमाद्यं यन्मे त्वदन्येन न दृष्टपूर्वम्.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you by my internal potency this Supreme Universal Form within the material world. No one before has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence.
न वेद यज्ञेन न दानेन न च क्रियाभिः तपोभिरुच एवं रूपः शक्य अहं नृलोके दृष्टं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर.
O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine, for neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances can I be seen in this form in the material world.
माते व्यथा मा च विमूढभावो दृष्टावरूपं घोरइदमम् इदम् व्यपेतविपरीतमा पुनस्त्वं तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रवश्य.
You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire.
Sanjay उवाच इत्यर्जुनं वासुदेव उक्तावथोक्त्वा स्वकं रूपं दर्शय मया सुधियः अस्वास्थ्ययामास च प्रीतमेनं भूत्वा पुनः सौम्य रूपं महात्मा.
Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, "The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form, and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna.
Arjuna Vacha Drustveda Manusham Rupam Tava Somyam Janardanam Idani Yasmi Samvrutaha Sacheta Prakriti Gataha.
When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing this human-like form so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, and I am restored to my original nature.
Sri Bhagwan Vacha Sudarshamidam Rupam Drustvanasi Janamam Yatmam Deva Tapasya Rupasya Nityam Darsanam Sakshi Ganam.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear.
Na aham vedana tapasa na dane na cha jaya Satya evam vido drustam drustavanasi magata.
The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am.
Bhaktaya tu ananyaya shakya aham eva vido arjuna jatum drustam tatattvena prateshtunam cha param tatam.
My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding.
Matkarma kruto matparam madbhakta attangvarjita nirvera sarva bhuteshu yasa mameti pandava.
My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, I have to apologize, Prabhuji. So sorry. It was just I don't know what happened today. I
It's
really
okay, Mataji, no problem. You can keep practicing, it will help definitely, but you did well, don't worry. Keep practicing as much as possible during the day. You recite the verses in Sanskrit and you'll be there. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. You did your best, and I think it's just a matter of it. The more you practice, even the speed will come with that, actually, Mataji, because obviously sometimes initially it can take time. But thank you for showing the courage and giving it a good shot. So thank you. That was nicely done. And thank you to Pinky Mataji for the translation. So we will, as I said, this is the part 2 of our session from yesterday on the Sankirtan orientation session. So if I can now share my screen with all of you. And just before we begin the session, because obviously we've gone over nearly 8:15 today. Would it be okay if I carried on till 8:45, because there are a few slides I need to get through, and then I can take reflections for 10 minutes after that. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you so much.
Prabhuji, yes, Prabhuji.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, yes,
Okay,
Prabhuji.
okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, great. So here is the screen. I'm going to mute everybody now. Just before that, can you all switch on your messages, not unmute, and send me a couple of your messages and share some reflections from yesterday's session, which with everybody on the chat box, which something which stuck in your mind from yesterday's few sessions. So it helps us to begin from today, actually, where we are. Just if you like to do that, that'll be great. We ended on this last slide, so I'll wait for your chat messages and then we can have a quick recap. Okay, great. We have first message just come through. Book distribution service will please Srila Prabhupada. Absolutely, Divya Gaurangi Mataji. That is the because our line is about pleasing our spiritual masters, and pleasing Srila Prabhupada will bring about the perfection of our practice of Krishna consciousness. So that's definitely very helpful. Okay, great. What else? What is the meaning of sampradaya? What did we cover? What was the meaning of the word sampradaya? Chant Hare Krishna and teach others. That's right. That was a teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Mataji is saying book distribution is the parampara system. Yes, absolutely. It's something not concocted or new. It's coming in our parampara, and we saw that from our various personalities in our line. Sampradaya means to give. Those who spread Krishna consciousness are most dear to Krishna. That's correct. Hema Mataji is saying it's the complete gift of passing down this knowledge. It's the best way of spreading Krishna consciousness. Pass on to others is called sampradaya. Chant Hare Krishna and teach others. Our legacy has to be passed on, Yashwini Mataji. That is correct. Thank you so much, everybody. So let's crack on from today's session. So today we will be talking about the 4 laws of book distribution. I'll briefly touch base on the monthly Sankirtan festival. I won't go in detail, and then we will go straight on how to distribute, especially Bhagavad Gita on its own merit. So the 4 laws of the book distribution are very, very important, and they are here. The first law is that our sadhana must be strong. The second is we must get books. In order to distribute them, you got to have the books. And the third is the more you show, the more you sell. And the fourth is you must organize. So I may ask you these 4 laws or some questions at the end. Let's see, we'll have a little quiz. I'll shoot out some questions. You can send your answers on the chat if the time is there. So the first law is that our sadhana must be strong. So some of you may be thinking, what link does this have? We kind of covered this yesterday, and Srila Prabhupada uses these 3 words, and especially in the book, Our Family Business, His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu covers a whole chapter about this, one of these, this particular law. And it is such a profound section, because when I read this section, I could completely see the sync between these 2 activities. And Maharaj gives an example in the book that he quotes Yamuna Mataji, Srila Prabhupada, dear disciple, that when you are cooking dal and rice separately, they have their own nutrients in them. And if you honor them separate, differently, great, you'll feel nourished. But the Ayurvedic science is as such that when you mix the dal and the rice together and soak it and make it a khichdi out of it, it is explained it has 30% more nutrients in it. So similarly, the combination of having a good, strict, serious, and sincere practice of Krishna consciousness, and then going in the world of unknown, these 2 things put together brings about the desired or the best outcome one can have in one's practice of Krishna consciousness. That's why this is considered, book distribution is considered as a high sadhana. So basically, being strict means that making sure that we have our sadhana, which is time bound, we are strict about doing it every day, serious about making sure that we do not let a day go by about becoming, serious about what we are trying to do, and not taking our chanting of the rounds, following of the regulative principles, reading Srila Prabhupada books, not taking it lightly, because this is a privilege. We have to take it seriously. And sincerely means really showing that we are sincere and we want to do this properly for the pleasure of our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, and finally for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Shri Radha Gokulananda. So these are important elements. The next is that our sadhana, as I said, what we do is we distribute an overflow of our sadhana. We don't only, there is a temple president in Delhi temple, Mohan Rupa Prabhu, an amazing devotee. He gives some such beautiful classes in Hindi. If you hear his classes, I can tell you, you'll be like blown away. So in one of his lectures, he was saying that the reasons a bhakta goes out to give out Prabhupada books is that he cannot help but to share the joy he's experiencing in his heart. And what makes another person takes the books of Srila Prabhupada from a devotee is not merely just the books which are being handed out, but it's actually the joy and the happiness this devotee is feeling while distributing the books. So one time Gaurang Prabhu was distributing Srila Prabhupada book. Gaurang Prabhu is a very senior disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He's done amazing projects. Govardhan Eco Village is one of his masterpieces under the direction of Maharaj. And he shares this experience many times, that one time he was traveling in a local train distributing Bhagavad Gita. And he gave it to one person and he said, my father has Bhagavad Gita, my grandfather has Bhagavad Gita, and his grandfather has Bhagavad Gita. I don't need Bhagavad Gita. I know about Bhagavad Gita. So Gaurang Prabhu simply smiled at him and he left him, because our idea is to leave everybody with good impression. He moved on to 2 other compartments. And then after like much later, he finds this person coming behind him and saying, you are giving out some book called the Bhagavad Gita? Gaurang Prabhu said, yes, I mentioned about it to you. He said, give me a copy. And he gave the donation. So Gaurang Prabhu was completely puzzled. He said, what made you to now change your mind and come to me and ask for the Gita? I thought everybody in your home knows the Gita and they have the Bhagavad Gita. So this person turned around and said to Gaurang Prabhu that in the last whole week, you are the first person who actually, without any motive, smiled at me and genuinely spoke to me. Even my own wife has not like smiled at me. So you see, the example I'm giving you is because when a devotee goes out, he's feeling grateful for the teachings which have been passed on to him by his spiritual masters. And he's in the mood of Trinadapi Sunichena, he's going out and sharing that same bliss of Krishna consciousness with others. And naturally, that's why it's called in Hindi, I don't know how many of you have heard, Bhakti, Prachar means Bhakti ka Dakar. So when you eat something too much, you have these hiccups, or no, the hiccup is not the word, but you have these burps which come up. So similarly, when you're full in your Krishna consciousness, you're practicing your sadhana very nicely, it becomes very natural for us to distribute that outpour. Like we get a taste. You see, this bee has got the taste of what is it to chant the holy name or to read Srila Prabhupada books. And my small experience in my years of Krishna consciousness is, if you're reading Srila Prabhupada books every day and studying them, you cannot help it but to think, how can I reach out to others with this profound message, which is giving me so much of clarity? Never in my life have I come across a statement like, for example, let's take a statement from Bhagavatam. This Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to bring about revolution in the world's misdirected civilization. I mean, which literature will talk about a statement like that, dear friends? Only Srila Prabhupada books will give us that clarity. And that's why the devotee thinks, how can I benefit others actually? So the distribution is the overflow, as I just shared with all of you. And then taking shelter of Bhagavad Gita, like we are already doing, Chad, you think this is not a program which my Guru Maharaj started all over the world, but it's something coming from the inspiration of Srila Prabhupada, which he took it to the heart from another disciple of Prabhupada, and he started this program. So here you see what Prabhupada is saying, that please encourage the others to read this Bhagavad Gita at least one chapter every day, directly from Prabhupada in a letter to Upendra in January 6, 1969. And then Prabhupada is writing another letter where he's saying Bhagavad Gita as it is should be read by all of my students at least one chapter every day. You remember the point, very important point we talked about, and I also shared a video with all of you about Bhakti Charu Maharaj saying this, that the instruction of the spiritual master is the manifestation of the internal potency of the Lord, from the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So when we take these instructions of our spiritual master seriously, we feel empowered, our day becomes much nicer, and our evening becomes nicer when we bring ourselves in front of the vibration of this beautiful literature like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So please encourage your friends and families, let them join chat. Even if they don't have the Bhagavad Gita, you can post it to them. And we will talk about that in the coming few weeks, how you can do these kind of services. But for now, invite them, let them experience how it is to chant a shloka of Bhagavad Gita every day, or to hear the shloka, or to discuss the Bhagavad Gita. There is an app which is available online. If you don't have it, please download it today. It's called Be a Sage Page by Page. It's available in Android and iPhone. This has been my last slide. I don't know if you have ever noticed of my presentations that this app will help you set a target. You can choose, I want to read 10 shlokas every day, and then it will tell you if you do 6 pages of Bhagavad Gita, you will be able to finish the entire Bhagavad Gita in 5 months and in 15 days. It will give you the precise timing. And that will inspire you. Yes, I can finish the entire Bhagavad Gita by reading these many pages every day. So this is a wonderful application available free, developed again by ISKCON of Silicon Valley for the benefit of the whole world. And there are many inspirational videos available on the BBT Facebook page in relation to this. Be a Sage Page by Page. The second law of book distribution is we must get books. Only once we have the books, we can distribute. So here at Bhaktivedanta Manor, we are very fortunate. I work with BVT directly, making sure we have always books available. Otherwise, how could have we managed to distribute 325 Bhagavatam sets months before we worked together to order them through BBT, who ordered it from India. Then I tied up with a supplier in Bombay to arrange these beautiful golden thrones so the devotees can have a throne because of the verse. Then Vrindavan Chand Prabhu, Keshav Gokulanand Prabhu, and many other devotees, Mukunda Hari Prabhu, many worked together in scheming. Prabhupada says in a lecture, I want you all to scheme, and I want you all to all the time going out and what is the word Prabhupada uses? I'm trying to think. He said canvassing. He said, why am I asking my students to go and canvass others? Because this is life. This is Krishna consciousness, and I want to give it to everybody else. So we have to get books. We can't distribute what we don't have. We will also in marathon have different languages for different kinds of people. We have language cards which we can print from BBT. Like when we go on the street, we give them a Bhagavad Gita in their language, and a language card which says book on yoga and meditation, which will help you get free from stress. Please give a donation. This is what the card reads actually in different languages. This is a Vietnamese person. My Guru Maharaj was distributing these books outside just in the area, and he went to this table, he met with everybody and gave out the books to everyone. This is a Farsi person who was, again, got very fortunate having the book in Farsi. And there are extra points available, book points from BBT. We get points every year. We are not, of course, literally after the point, but it's nice to have the transcendental competition amongst the temples. Like we were so delighted, Manor did the best part in the whole of Europe. The third law is to more you show, the more you sell. And we will talk about it in our Bhagavad Gita presentation shortly. So unless we are able to show people what we have, they don't get attracted. I'll give you an example. We came up with this idea as a team that we're going to try and present Srila Prabhupada library in last year, December. We launched this, and this is the entire library of Prabhupada with all the books and the bookshelf and the picture. We are planning to, we put on a hold onto this one because the demand was so much that we were struggling to cope up, making sure every single book of Prabhupada is there. So this year, I'm going to work with BBT directly in India to get all the other books of Prabhupada. But many devotees are helping us. We deliver the Mridanga, Kartal, beautiful picture of Radha Gokulananda. It's like an altar moving in the people's house. So it was like we were trying to chase a rhinoceros, trying to put a library which cost around 699 pounds. And we thought, who will take it? But we prayed to Prabhupada, and the idea came up again from ISKCON of Silicon Valley. They have tried it there. And we simply presented it in our Janmashtami festival, in our marathon. And we said we will try to distribute 5 in the first year because it's a big ask. And we landed up distributing 7. This is what happens, you know, as I said, when you put a challenge and a goal, many people come forward. And people said, I'm getting everything, including a devotee, wonderful devotee like Damdavan Prabhu, who will come to my house and he'll put this library together for me. And devotees came forward and accepted this gift. Door to door is one way which we have been missing because of COVID, but I'm praying to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Srila Prabhupada that let this COVID go so we can get out there, knock the doors of the people, or at least let it go really low so that at least in marathon we are able to go to some degree. There are different events in like Diwali festival, Pumpkin festival. We do many things. This is Pumpkin was in US, but we do many things here to distribute books. There is a kids Sankirtan team. My wife Vindarika Ramya has been working over the last 2 years with children, trying to read, chant Bhagavad Gita with them, read Krishna book, and then take them out with the family members, with their parents. And now recently Diptesh Prabhu has joined us, and he's done a wonderful activity by engaging 4 children, training them. And we have distributed 24 Bhagavatam sets just by these children who are presenting online to others actually. So it's a very great activity. And Prabhupada said, I want every respectable person to have a full set of Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita in their home. So this is about the Gomatsya project, which we have covered yesterday. So I'm not going to go into the detail. You know all about the Bhadra campaign and our results. And we have a project called Gita Project. Radha Dasi Mataji and Nitin Prabhu are placing hundreds and thousands of books every year in prisons, hospitals, care homes, hotels, where possible. So every year we look to get some sponsorship and place these books in different places. So you can also help with that. Finally, the last law is you must organize. Without organizing, we won't be able to do anything. So when the team comes together, and this is one of the 7th purpose of ISKCON, that with the Prabhupada writes directly in the 7th purpose of ISKCON, he says, with a view towards achieving aforementioned purposes. So look at the importance Prabhupada is leaving about the book and book distribution. He's connecting this last affirmation of the 7th purpose to all the others. He's saying with a view towards achieving all the above mentioned purposes is to publish and distribute periodical magazine, books, and other writings. So imagine the, even while Prabhupada was very sure when he was establishing these 7 purposes, he made sure in order to achieve everything else, all the other 6 purposes, the 7th purpose is going to hold the key. And only by this purpose will we be able to establish everything else which is mentioned above. So organizing is very important. Goals are potent. I'm not going to cover all of this, but we are trying to organize, but we need help from all of you in every little service you can do. We need people who count Lakshmi. We need people who bank. We need people, many things. So I'll cover that at the end. And now very briefly, I'll touch base about the monthly Sankirtan festival. We started this nearly 2 years ago. So every month, one Saturday, we come together in our community and we go out with children, with everybody. We dedicate our one Saturday and then everybody comes together and we go out on book distribution. And what are the principles of this monthly Sankirtan festival? We try to make it fun. We take a break. After the Sankirtan of 2 hours, we meet at a devotee's house. Sorry, I'm going to mute mute everybody because there's some background noise here. So we go out and then we take prasadam at a devotee's house. We share our reflections. Everybody shares, how was it? You know, did you get rejections? Did people accept us? What can we learn? And these are amazing exchanges which take place amongst the devotees. And the main thing is we encourage, if you have not tried door to door or haven't come out, once things are normal, we will invite you just to come and touch the pavement. And then you will see it takes a lot to put up that bag and leave your house, you know, the door and to come out. It's only that barrier. Once you're out, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will empower us and that'll help us distribute the books actually. So as I said, book distribution, these are the some mantras of monthly Sankirtan festival. Book distribution is high sadhana. We're always trying to do a better service, a lot doing a little bit. So everybody is doing a little bit from a lot of people. And sometimes it can be a lot. Yeah, it can be the other way around. Sometimes in the olden times, few brahmacharis used to travel and do thousands of books. But now we have such a big family like the Chad family and the Sankirtan Forever family that we can all do a little bit. And Bhadra campaign was one such result of that. Everybody's doing a little bit. And it's fun, you know, the children get involved and it's a fun activity. It's teamwork, which is a great thing, a matter of joy to come together and distribute Srila Prabhupada books. We are starting small and looking to grow. That's our ambition. And you must be thinking, Prabhu, why do we have to, it must be quite difficult. What if somebody says no to me, or somebody says I'm not interested and they close the door? So what we are doing is we are looking to pick up the ripe fruits. That's our main thing. We are not looking to preach everybody, even if they don't like to be preached. We don't want to share that with everyone. If people are not inclined, we leave them by a good impression, saying, thank you so much, Amit. It was really wonderful meeting you. I appreciate your time, and take care of yourself. Because if you leave everybody with a good impression, next time when the person is walking down the Oxford Street, he will see some devotees chanting Hare Krishna from the Soho temple, and he will think, oh, these are the same people, the guy who knocked on my door. They're nice people. They're dancing. They're happy. And there's somebody distributing a book here. Let me go down and pick up a Bhagavad Gita. So many people like that have changed their mind just because the devotees having such wonderful, compassionate, and a friendly nature. So we are looking for ripe fruits. So you can see, if you say hi to somebody and the other person says hi back to you, that means we are looking for ripe people. But if the person doesn't say back hi to you, that's fine. You can go to the next door and ring the bell, or you can meet another person and say hello to that person. So now you tell me, this is a picture of an unripe person, who's probably trying to dictate and say that I'm not interested. So the main thing is the core and explore principle. You got to keep trying. Even if it is 20% people who say hi back to you or are interested, we are happy with those 20 or even 10%, because we are not after so much, how many books are we doing? It's about our mood to giving the best to the people. And our prime directive is to leave everybody with good impression. That's what we are trying to do here. I'm conscious of the time, so we will go straight to how to distribute Bhagavad Gita. Just a quick few slides. Our mood is that we are Krishna's instruments. We remain humble and hungry. We go out for self-purification. Our mood is to do service for the service sake. We are not looking for any other material motivation. We want to do this service so Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada could give us a little bit more service, to be always engaged in their service. And I save one soul at a time, beginning with myself. That's our motto. And we leave everybody with a good impression. Preaching means giving. Don't be condescending. Leave everyone with a good impression. So now we will cover our last section, which we wanted to cover, which is how to distribute Bhagavad Gita on its own merit. And Prabhupada says that there is a sufficient merit in our books that if you simply describe them sincerely to anyone, they will buy the book. So I know many times people would like to do many things, like, give a cake, charge for the cake, and give out the books. Now in marathon, when we are trying to do bulk numbers, it might be all right. But in most cases, we should really try to present Srila Prabhupada's book on its own merit. And you will see the magic is in the book, and people will take the book because it's been presented on its own merit. So I won't be going into a lot of detail because of the timing, but I will try to cover these steps. And then I've invited Keshav Gokulanand Prabhu, who's very kindly joined us for the call. And myself and Keshav Prabhu will do a quick role play on how we present Bhagavad Gita based on this presentation, which I'm going to share with you. So the first point is radar. Like this is more from when you're on the street, you're like trying to target somebody almost with your eyes and see, okay, you're praying to Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, please help me, Mahaprabhu, please help me that I can distribute, at least try to distribute your books. So you focus your radar gun at somebody, and then you use hand as your power. And then what you do, you qualify somebody. Qualify means you say to that person, my name is Divya Nama Das, I'm from London, where are you from? And when the person says, I'm from Birmingham, and what do you do? You when they say I'm from Birmingham, you say, fantastic, we are looking for wonderful people in Birmingham. This is from London to Birmingham. That's how you kind of hand out the Bhagavad Gita to them. Let me see if I have right now. I don't have the book, but I have. Okay. So just imagine this is Bhagavad Gita. This is from London to Birmingham. And this is from London to Birmingham. So you're making that person feel already you're qualified to get something special on the street. Then the next thing you do is you trust the hand. So when you're passing the book, you see what's happening here. This person, devotee, is passing the book to that lady, and the lady's hand is going, because it is explained by my spiritual master. He says our hand is looking to hold the beauty all the time, and what about the best beauty like Bhagavad Gita? So Mataji is going on trying to hold on to the Bhagavad Gita. Naturally, her hand is going like that. So you got to trust the hand. And the mantra you need to say when you're giving, again, as I said, these are the mantras tried and tested by many devotees, and something I've been following, especially after my spiritual master. And as I said in the beginning of the presentation yesterday, this presentation doesn't belong to me. It's the 40 years of the sadhana of His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu and his own experiences, which I have tried to follow, and I'm just simply presenting that to all of you. So it's none of this is my invention, by the way. We are just simply trying to follow these steps, and we have certainly had success in it. So books on yoga and meditation that show you how to get free from stress. This is an important mantra. So maybe if I can ask all of you to unmute yourself and just repeat after me. Books on yoga and
Yoga.
meditation
Meditation.
Yoga and meditation
show you how to get free from stress.
show you
Know you
how
how
to
to
get
get
free
free
from
of stress.
stress.
Let's do it one more time. Books on yoga and meditation
Books on yoga
Yoga
and
and
meditation
meditation.
that show you how to get free from stress.
show you
So
how
you
to
are
get free from stress.
I told you guys this is fun, isn't it? Are you guys not having fun at 8:45 in the night?
Yes, I am, Prabhuji.
I mean, imagine where else could you be at this time but having a fun trying to learn some tips on how to distribute Srila Prabhupada books. There cannot be any better place or any better pub or a restaurant you could visit but to actually learn this great art of book distribution of Srila Prabhupada books. All right. So now the next question you ask, if you could mute yourself, that'll be great. The next question you ask somebody, have you heard of stress before? The person will say, really? Yes, I have heard of the stress, because most people has. And then what is your mantra? Your next mantra is, you don't look stressed. In fact, if you don't mind me saying, you look spiritual. So what are you doing here? You're placing that person on a Vyasasana. You're coming down, you're sitting in front of the Vyasasana, and you making that person sit on the Vyasasana. You're regarding him much superior in the understanding of spiritual matters. You're appreciating that person. So you're saying you don't look stressed. Say, for example, Vrindavan Chand Prabhu, you don't look stressed. You look spiritual. I mean, Vrindavan Chand Prabhu is top to bottom spiritual anyway. But my point here is, even if you tell it to any other person, they will, because why not? It's a fact. You're not lying, because there is a super soul situated in them. There is an Atma situated in their heart, which is spiritual. So you're not lying to them. You're just saying you look spiritual. And then you ask them, what is your secret? They will give you an answer. They will say, I like to do yoga. I like to exercise. And then you take the book back from them and you say, wow, I knew that there is something special behind you. Even if they say you're sleeping or you look so fresh, appreciate them. And then you take the book back and say, let me show you really quick. And then you throw these names to them. You say, this book has been read by Thoreau, Gandhi, Emerson, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Albert Einstein, the Beatles, Tupac Shakur. All these people have read this Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And this builds the credibility in Bhagavad Gita when you present these names to the people which are mentioned either at the back of the cover or inside of the cover, depending on which print it is actually. And then you say, can you read this? You open the verse, Pandita Samadarshina verse to them. Of course, they don't know the Sanskrit, but you can have a nice humor with them. And they'll say, what language is this? And then you say, it's Sanskrit. And you will just tell them in a humorous way, I was just testing you. And then you tell them this has been translated in English over 400 times. And out of the translation, this is the most popular in all the universities or the recognized universities all over the world. And there are many quotes of the universities in Bhagavad Gita just before the introduction. So you show these different endorsements like University of California, Georgetown University, and then you take them to the picture. You remember one of the law, the more you show, the more you sell. That's what we are trying to do here. So you tell them that I'm just passing through, you hand the book to them and you tell them to identify where are you in all this. They will say, I'm here, like that, and they can start to relate. And then you tell them again, a learned person sees everybody with an equal vision. This line really resonates with all walks of the people from all religions, Prabhus and Matajis. And then you say that a self-realized person, as I just said, he sees everybody treats everybody with respect, and he sees God in everybody or the spirit in everyone. And then you ask them the question, have you heard of karma, right? And then you say, what does it mean to you? These are some of the ideas, The person will say, oh, what goes around comes around. And in that response, you show them a thumbs up and say, wow, what a great explanation. And then you say, if there were more people like you in the world, this world will be a much better place to live in. So you're really appreciating the person. Imagine by now he'll be ready to take a Bhagavatam set, what to speak of Bhagavad Gita when when you appreciate people so much. So as I said, that's that dialogue. If more people in the world thought like you, the world would be a better place to live. And then you ask them, oh, what do you do for profession? He'll say, oh, I'm a teacher. Then you say, this yogi used to be a teacher. Of course, you're being humorous there. You'll say, I'm a civil engineer, I'm a Sunday school teacher, I'm a dancer. And you can tell this yogi used to be a dancer. Obviously, that's not the case, but just to bring some humor. And then you say, really, this guy used to be a civil engineer. And then they will start to have a laugh looking at him. And hand the book to them. And this is the main line. A lot of us are worried about asking for donation, but don't worry. We say we don't sell it like in a bookshop. We only ask for donation. We don't need the money. The only reason we ask is that it's an ancient tradition. When you give something in return for spiritual knowledge, it helps you connect with the teachers who have been passing this knowledge through many generations. Imagine, this is the English definition of the word dakshina. For many devotees, asking donation can be a challenge, but when you actually tell them that this is for their benefit, people will contribute, and for sure they will contribute, because they get spiritual sukriti by giving some donation for Srila Prabhupada's transcendental books. So let them give. When you tell them that it's a tradition, when you give something for spiritual knowledge, it helps you connect with the teachings of these teachers who've been passing down this knowledge throughout many generations, actually. And people get that when you explain it to them. And then some people may say, oh, I'm a Muslim, I'm that. And then you try to honor their objections. They will say, I already know all about it.
Sorry, Devesh Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Sorry, can you repeat it last bit, please?
Okay, so I can share those slides later on. The last bit was when you're asking for donation, you tell them that we don't need the money. We only ask for donation. And the reason we ask for it is that when you give something in return for spiritual knowledge, it helps you connect with the teachers and gives you their blessings, because this knowledge has been passed through many generations. It's 5,000 years old. So when you give something, it helps you connect with the teaching. And that's a fact. That's what the word dakshina means. And finally, it'll also help us to print the cost.
Thank you,
Cover the printing cost for with donation. Many people, especially coming from India, they'll say, Prabhu, I know Bhagavad Gita. My nani taught me Bhagavad Gita. My father teaches Bhagavad Gita. I know Bhagavad Gita, everything inside out, Prabhuji. What are you trying to tell me? So many people like that you will meet. And to them, if they say that, you say, that's great. And I could tell looking at you, Prabhu, you're looking so effulgent. You know Bhagavad Gita. You start appreciating them. And then say, I'm this, I'm that. You say, oh, great. Then let me show you this one. If they say, Prabhu, I'm from, from Dubai. I don't speak Hindi. Then say, fantastic. Here is the one for special people from Dubai. You give them an Arabic book in their hand, which can be the same book, Chant and Be Happy in Arabic, So these are some quick tips, Prabhus and Mataji. And finally, you teach them how to chant a Mahamantra. You ask them, do you believe in the power of prayer? They will say no or yes. You say, okay, let me teach you a mantra or a Sanskrit prayer which will help you awaken love for God in your heart. And then you make them repeat the Hare Krishna Mahamantra after you, 2 syllables at a time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. They will repeat like that. You can repeat the entire Mahamantra. And finally, you give them prasadam and take their contact details so we can stay in touch with them. And you thank them for their time, saying it's been a pleasure meeting you. And we look forward to, seeing you again at our temple. Give them the details, invite them for sessions, or invite them for chat. When you're giving the Bhagavad Gita, the easiest thing is invite them for reading the Bhagavad Gita together. So I would like to stop here now. I'm really sorry we've gone over the time. This is normally covered in a 3-hour seminar, which I've tried to combine it in like 1 hour literally between yesterday and today. I'd like to welcome Keshav Gokulanand Prabhu. Keshav Gokulanand Prabhu is somebody who's also one of the Sankirtan leaders. like Vrindavan Chand Prabhu and myself, serving at Bhaktivedanta Manor, a family person who's dedicated his life for this one cause of studying, reading Srila Prabhupada books and distributing it with everybody. He's part of the mentorship system of the temple. And for many, many years, he's been doing this service in some sense longer than me, because many years ago, he joined the movement and he was distributing Prabhupada books nearly 15 years ago, 20 years ago in Bangalore when he was there. So book distribution is not new to him. He's a wonderful devotee. I'd like to welcome you, Keshav Prabhu. Would you like to say a few words? And we'll see if we have time, we can do a quick role play. I think we'll do one role play.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you, Divya Nama Prabhu, for the kind words. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you. So, did you just in regards to books? I'm sure a lot of you may have come across Srila Prabhupada's books, or the books may have changed your lives. But for me, the Bhagavad Gita changed my life when I was 19 and I was in Kenya, and somebody had given the Bhagavad Gita to my parents, and I read that one summer vacation cover to cover, and that was my convincing point. So that attachment of how it changed my life, I think that's the compassionate as Vaishnavas that we want to give to everybody else. And I'm sure a lot of you have come across the book, so they've made some changes in your life or near or dear ones. And that's why we're all gathered here today, to do the same to others. So Divya Nama Prabhu, if you wanted to do the role play, because I know we're running out of time.
Thank you, Keshav Prabhu. Looks like they've all stayed back. So would you like to see a little role play of something very quickly, like in 3 or 4, probably 2 minutes it'll take, or are you happy if we just conclude here?
Role play
Role
would be
play.
nice.
Okay, you want to see? Okay, all right, thank you.
Carry on, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you so much for your encouragement. That relieves a bit of a pressure, because I was trying to really rush with the presentation. So I just wanted to mention one thing about the Lakshmi. Do not hesitate, because this is the best thing you're doing for their benefit. Just remember that internally. You don't have to tell them that it's for their benefit, but you can remember that you are standing with Radhesham Prabhu from Pune says this. He said, you're standing with the fire of the Sankirtan Yajna outside people's door or on the street and asking them to put the Lakshmi in the topmost Yajna in the entire eternity is the Sankirtan Yajna. So when they put something in the fire of the Sankirtan Yajna, it's going for their own benefit. It's the best service you can actually ask somebody to do. So sometimes people ask, I was in Jagannath Puri and I saw my godbrother. He gave the book to a rickshaw person. There we give books to everybody. And he was saying, I only have 5 rupees. How much can I give? So my godbrother said, some people give their life. You give what you can. So the rickshawala was so happy. He took out 20 rupees instead of 5 and he gave it. He said, I'll definitely read this book in Odia. This was in Jagannath Puri. So don't shy away for asking for donation. So let's start it. So Keshav Prabhu, would you like to give it to me or should I give it to you? What do you prefer, Prabhu?
I don't mind. I've got the Gita here with me.
Okay,
If
fantastic.
that helps.
So you go ahead and you try to distribute it to me, Prabhu, then in that case.
Okay, sure. Hi.
Hello.
Edgware, where are you coming from?
I'm from Queensbury.
Oh, that's wonderful. Have you heard of stress?
Stress? Yeah, I am quite stressed out at the moment.
Oh, okay. That's because you don't look stressed. So what's your secret?
My secret, I like to just take it easy in life and in the morning, just get up, fold your hands to God and thank him for everything. I guess that's it.
Whoa, if more people thought I knew, this world would be a better place to live in. Thank you very much. So I've got this special book here. You see this picture here. Where do you think you are in that picture?
Oh, my friend, I'm way towards getting old now, nearly 40 years, maybe somewhere here now.
Oh, somewhere there. Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody has to go through that. They start here and they come all the way down there.
Oh my
And I'll
God,
show you another picture. Yeah.
Sounds a bit scary.
You see, what do you do as a profession yourself?
I work in a healthcare organization as a healthcare professional, actually.
Wow, you see this guy here?
Yeah, I can see him. He's got hardly any skin on his body.
Yeah, that guy used to be a healthcare professional as well.
Are you serious?
No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is actually a very special book we're giving to all the people who meet here, and this is actually endorsed by many universities. You can see Georgetown, Harvard, Oxford, and this is used in many kind of institutions as well. And so this is for you today here. You can take this.
Thank you very much. Wow.
Yeah. So again, when you see the book, you see this special writing there. Can you read that?
What language is that?
Okay. So this is a very special language, Sanskrit, one of the oldest
Sanskrit.
languages. Yeah.
Okay.
So even I can't read that, but it's got a English translation that you can follow and you can read that.
Oh yeah, it says something like a learned person sees everybody with equal vision or something.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. I think you're already so intelligent. I mean, this book is just going to do you wonders. So yeah, I'd like you to keep this book.
Oh,
How
thank
do
you
you
very
feel about
much.
keeping the book?
Great. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. It's wonderful. Thank you. I'll see
Okay.
you later.
So we don't sell these books like in a bookshop,
Okay.
and we don't need the
Wow.
money. Uh, we don't need the money as such, but it's ancient tradition that when somebody gives you knowledge, and when you give something in return, it lets you connect to the previous teachers, and in that way you get benefit. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't have any cash with me right now. I only carry cards.
Yeah, that's fine. We take cards as well. You know,
You
now
take
it's all
cards on
about
the street?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow,
We've got special
that's amazing,
card
man.
reader that we can take cards. Yeah.
And can I get a receipt?
So we'll give you a receipt by text as well or
Oh,
email, whichever you prefer.
my goodness, the world has moved on.
Yeah, I mean it's the times especially.
Yeah,
Everyone
sure.
has to
Here,
keep up with
yeah,
the
I'm happy to
times.
give. How much? Maybe how much should I give?
So some people give their lives, some people give their car, some people give their house.
Oh my God.
But we're not asking you for anything that big or it's whatever comes from your heart.
Well, I can't give my car because I've only got one and I got to travel to work. But I can give you 10 pounds if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's very generous of you. Yeah. So you can just tap on here
Okay, great.
and that will give. And before we leave, do you believe in the power of prayer?
Um, Actually, I do. Yeah, I know prayers can be powerful.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Again, as I said, whoa, if more people thought like you, this world would be a very, very better place to be. So I've got a special mantra that I'd like you to repeat if you're comfortable with
Sure.
after me.
Go
So
ahead.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
So
Oh, that
very
was
special
nice.
mantra. How do you feel
That was
after
nice.
saying
What
this
is
special prayer?
what are these names, man? What did you just do to me?
So these are special names. And when you take these names, again, as we said, it relaxes you, de-stresses you, and you can chant these names
I
or
really
speak
need it
them
now.
anywhere or before going to bed, in the car, walking to work, wherever you
Fantastic.
like. And we'd like to keep in touch with you, and we can invite you to one of our monasteries we've got in Watford. So are you happy that we take your contact details and we get in touch with you?
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. Here, do you want me to give you my email address or what do you prefer?
Yeah, we've got this app that you can just put your details in, or I can put it
Okay,
on
fantastic.
for
Yeah,
you
great. Yeah, that's
while you
fine.
give
That's
me
my
the
email address.
details. So here you
That's
go. Okay, brilliant. So again, Devesh, very nice meeting you,
well,
and it's been a
likewise.
pleasure. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so
Right.
much. It was really
Take
nice to
care.
meet you
See
today.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Take care. Okay, thank you so much, Keshu Gokulanand Prabhu. So, Prabhus and Mataji, so that was our presentation for today. We'll leave it a few minutes. I have one last slide I wanted to show you with this wonderful opportunity which is available for all of us to get involved. And that is that we have these service opportunities coming up. We'll take a couple of reflections after this, but this was our last slide. So on the next few opportunities are from next Sunday, we are starting a table at the temple. Temple management would like to have our presence there and have Srila Prabhupada books available. And it will be a 2-hour slot service, which is available from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sunday. So you can register. For now, what you can do is you can just send your interest to Keshav Gokulanand Prabhu. And also we have one devotee called Shamin Mataji, who does a wonderful service of putting a rota together of 2 hours, like how Santosh Mataji and other couple of Matajis are helping doing the Chad rota. We have Shamin Mataji who does the rota, but in the meanwhile, she's traveling to Iran. So if somebody is willing to help us with service, I know Hema Mataji is really keen to come out and help us. So Hema Mataji, will you also be keen to help Shamin Mataji while she's away if devotees are interested in putting a rota together for the Sunday?
Yes, that'll be fine, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mataji. So Keshav Gokulanand Prabhu's number is here. If you would like to take a picture of this slide and text him your number saying, yes, I would like to give it a try. And Keshav Prabhu will try to find an hour or two on the Sunday in the next couple of weeks where he can come and personally show you, either myself or him, whoever is available, on how to do books at the table. And you will be given the PPE and everything and social distancing, so you don't have to worry. There'll be a kirtan going on there just next in the Haveli. So it'll be in a very nice environment with 30 people listening to the session. And after which you can invite them to take a book of Srila Prabhupada as they walk out. What a wonderful service and opportunity. So please message Prabhu. We are about to launch a new website called Idea Seeds. So we are looking for somebody who knows about the website and how to, it's a ready website. We need to make some changes and some regular updates. So if somebody is from that background, can also contact either myself or Keshav Gokulanand Prabhu, and we can help you, direct you to Guru Shakti Mataji, who's working on this project. So please send your name in either in the chat box or on the group. And finally, if you have any ideas, we will be doing a monthly Sankirtan festival very soon, not the one physically going out yet, but we will do it over the phone. So we'll let you know the date and you can all join in. And finally, if you have any ideas about how we can expand and take this Bhagavad Gita and many books of Prabhupada's wide and far to many people across UK, then please do write to Guru Shakti Mataji on the email address or WhatsApp her on this number. So please, I request everybody to take a picture of this slide. And later on, depending on what service you would like to try in the initial coming days, as you know, this service is very dear to Srila Prabhupada, you can directly reach out to these devotees and we'll be very happy to share the services which are available. So now I would like to open up. I know it's been a bit late. So if you have any comments or reflections or questions you would like to ask myself or Keshav Gokulanand Prabhu, then feel free to do that. Did you like the role play? Was it helpful?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Wonderful. It
definitely.
was wonderful.
Well done.
Wonderful.
Well
Thank
done.
you, Prabhuji.
Well done,
Excellent,
Keshav
Prabhuji.
Gokulanand.
Pretty good,
Excellent.
thank
I
you.
loved it. Yeah. I
Okay.
was
should-
looking for something like that.
Oh, you are? Okay, that's great. So I have some reflections here. If I could go through those, I'm going to mute everybody and then we'll take any couple more comments. Let me just go through these reflections. If it is okay with you all, just bear with me. And then I have one very important announcement before you leave. So here it is. Saroj Mataji is saying having a rejection can benefit us. That is very true, Mataji. Thank you. Our legacy is to pass it on, share the knowledge. Nisha Mataji is saying COVID-19 is making people turn to understanding spirituality and the true purpose and meaning of life. A reflection. That is very true, Nisha Gupta Mataji. That is such a wonderful reflection. And that is the reason we are trying to spend some time in sharing some of the best ways on distributing Krishna consciousness, even while we are in COVID-19. Chandra Chaitanya Prabhu is saying, it was a pleasure to help out distributing Prashadam certificates in furthering the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Chandra Chaitanya Prabhu is also helping us, our Sankirtan leadership team, either in the placement of books. Although you can see he may be growing up in his age, but he's still enthusiastic and very, very young and fired up as far as the book distribution is concerned, both him and his wife. Nisha Mataji is saying, could you please send the link to this, Prabhuji? Nisha Mataji, what kind of link are you asking? Is it about this particular presentation or slide? If yes, there is a video recording being done and it will be shared by Gata Mataji. Nisha Mataji is saying, I think even if people say no at first, the seed has been planted and it will follow its own course by the mercy of Lord Krishna. That is such a profound reflection. Thank you so much, Mataji. Rita Mataji is saying, dear Divya Nama Prabhu, my humble pranams to you and Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for the information on distributing the holy books. It's an amazing and karma. You all amazing work. You all, Prabhuji, are doing great. Hare Krishna. All glories to Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji. Hema Mataji is saying, my experience is that most people are very generous with the donation in the street book distribution. Here we go. You have a first-hand experience from a book distributor, Hema Mataji. Books have transformed my life and truly magical. This is Hema Mataji's personal realization, dear devotees. Bhagwati Mataji is saying, wonderful role play, very, very helpful. Chandra Chaitanya Prabhu is saying, very nice and encouraging. Thank you. Wonderful presentation from Yashwini Mataji. And Bhagwati Mataji is saying, reading Srila Prabhupada is life transformation. So thank you, everybody. My one comment I wanted to make is, unfortunately, as you know, last night somebody came into our group and shared a picture which wasn't very acceptable. So what we have done, because devotees, but that's just my humble suggestion. And lastly, I want to thank Keshav Gokularan Prabhu for coming in. I've invited him to, whenever his work schedule is a bit tight, he works in IT sector, so sometimes he has late evenings, but we welcome you, Prabhu, for one of the chat sessions. Please come so we can derive more inspiration on reading and distributing Srila Prabhupada books by having you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhu. Yeah.
You want to say anything, Keshav Prabhu?
No. Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, Prabhus and Matajis, I'm sorry, it's nearly 9:05. I did say we'll go over by 15-20 minutes till 9 o'clock, so it's not bad. And thank you for joining us for these 2 days session. So feel free to share your reflections if you have any more on the group tonight, while I keep it open only till about 10 or 10 o'clock, and I'll close it at 10 o'clock. So before that, if you have any comments, questions, Garta Mataji is doing a wonderful service by recording it. And don't forget services. Even if you put it onto the group, Keshav Prabhu will pick it up. I will pick it up from the group. Any messages that if you're interested in any of the services, and Hema Mataji will be in touch with you to do the rota from the next Sunday, and she'll work closely with Keshav Prabhu. They are part of the same mentee group as well. So they'll work together in providing you a nice, comfortable environment to do this wonderful service at the temple. It's very important that you register as a volunteer to do this service. If you're not, you can go onto the Bhaktivedanta Manor website and register there. Until then, please look after yourself. Thank you so much. And I pray to Srila Prabhupada, all of you will come forward in some way or other to help us in this service to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, everybody. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
pajitanam
Namo.
here, myself and
Krishna
Keshav Prabhu
Prabhuji.
for the next few minutes. So if you want to,
Thank
anybody
you.
wants to stay back, they can and ask any questions or comments. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.